Today's class is going to be, Kathy, you'll like this, another half restoration, half regular powerful flow. I'm pretty tired and sore after taking a week off and doing a couple of really butt-kicking classes the past couple days that I've attended as a student. And so we're going to do some sweating and also some stretching. So go ahead and let's actually start on our backs today in a butterfly pose. So soles of the feet together, knees wide, come onto your back, and then tuck your shoulder blades underneath yourself and have your hands open up to the ceiling or sky or whatever you're looking at. And find either one spot to focus on and hold your gaze, or feel free to close your eyes. Start to deepen your breath. Get a feel for where all your body parts are here on your back. The texture of your feet against one another as they press together. The way you feel on the ground, all those points of contact holding you up. Bring your attention to your breath and drop into class. As you start to breathe here, tuck your chin in slightly so you can constrict the muscles at the back of your throat and create that powerful ujjayi breath. Maybe have some sound to it. And press your breath all the way out and hold it out at the bottom. Feel your lower abs contract with that vacuum. And now as you breathe in through your nose, fill up your entire rib cage. Pull your shoulder blade tips together and breathe into your heart. Feel your chest bloom open. At the depth of your exhales, continue to hold your breath out for a second. Feel that vacuum action before you start to breathe in and expand your chest and ribs once more. Now reach your arms overhead and press the backs of your hands into the earth. Feel how your shoulder blades come down your back from that action. Sort of a reverse child's pose here on our backs. Press the soles of your feet together. Engage your pelvic floor to hold you up here in this position. A couple more breaths here. Now go ahead and release. And turn over and come into a downward dog. Press down through the L shape made by your thumb and forefinger as you pedal your legs out, left and right. Stretch through each hip. And bend your knees deeply as you press your hands forward and holding your stomach in, holding your low ribs in. Now raise your tailbone up to the ceiling and drop your heels toward the ground. You should feel a big opening on the backs of your knees. Press down and forward with your hands as you raise your right heel up. Engage your hamstring and squeeze your outer hips in to raise your leg up a little bit higher. And then on an exhale, bring your knee to your nose, rounding up your back, holding your stomach in, and step your foot through to a low lunge. Wiggle your right foot to the outside of your hands and bring your thumbs together with your fingers spread wide on the inside of your foot in a lizard lunge here. Drop your back knee and place your foot flat on the ground and come up, place both hands on your right thigh and drop your hips toward your right heel. Inhale the crown of your head long and bring your shoulder tips together on your back to open up the entire front of your body. Raise your arms overhead and find a back bend here. So you should feel a big stretch on the front of your left thigh. Maybe some stretch on your right hammy. And then release, bring your hands down. Wiggle your foot back in the middle of them. Pick that back knee up and step back to a downward facing dog. Raise your left foot high. Engage that hamstring to lift it even higher. Squeezing your outer hips in to engage the low abs and press your hands down and forward. With an exhale, bring your knee to your nose, rounding your back up, and step through between your hands for a low lunge. Wiggle your left foot to the outside of your hands. Once again, bring your thumbs to touch with your fingers spread wide for our lizard lunge. Drop that back knee down, that right knee down, and come on up, place your hands on your left thigh, and drop your hips towards your left heel. Raise your arms overhead, and look up between your hands, squeezing your shoulder blade tips together and opening your heart up as you drop your hips again towards your heel. Press down firmly through both feet. Inhale, go up and back, find that back bend. Open up the whole front of your body. And exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Pick up your back knee and wiggle your left foot in between your hands. And then step back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees deeply and press forward through your hands. Gather your abs together and then send your hips high, dropping your heels toward the ground and opening up that big old stretch, the back of your legs. And inhale, look forward between your hands. Come up high on your tiptoes and take little tiny steps all the way to the top of your mat, meeting in a ragdoll. Play around with some adjustments here. Squeeze your quadriceps onto the bone, see what that does for you. See what happens if you drag your feet toward each other on the mat to fire up the inside of your legs. In my own body, that helps me to experience a bigger hamstring opening. And I can engage my abs and drop my head deeper. So play around with that. Spread and lift your toes. Press your feet together. Lift your hips up and let the crown of your head drop. Let your entire spine get some daylight between each vertebrae. And release your hands and heel toe your feet together. Inhale to halfway lift and exhale to fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Extend your hands up. Inhale, bring the front of your pelvis up. And exhale, ground down through your heels. One more big inhale, spread those fingers wide. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And we'll open with our own. Take a big inhale. Inhale and reach up and look up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then come to a high plank position. Press your hands and feet together on the mat. And then pull them together, so pressing into the center, and then pulling them together long ways to fire up your whole core. Reach your right heel high, so three-legged plank. Then exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round your back, and step your foot next to your right hand. And inhale your right hand up into an easy twist. Press down through both of your feet. Bring the pit of your belly in and up to express out. Then exhale, bring your right hand to the mat, drop your back knee, and come back into a half split. Inhale, halfway lift, pulling your chest through your shoulders, and exhale to fold, tucking your chin so the crown of your head goes long toward your right foot. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to step forward and come back into a high plank. Inhale to pull your hands and feet together, both inward and the long ways on your mat, firing up your abs. Then inhale your left heel high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round your back, and step next to your left hand. Inhale your left hand high, squeezing your inner thighs together so you can open up even more to the ceiling. And exhale, bring your hand to the ground. Bring your back knee down and push back into a half split on the left. Inhale, halfway lift, pulling your chest through your shoulders. And exhale, fold, tucking your chin so the crown of your head goes long towards your foot. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, come back to a little lunge. Then step back to your high plank. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come halfway down, pulling your toes and the heels of your hands together, even in this pose. Turn your feet over, inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Keep your front ribs in as you reach your hands overhead. And exhale, hug in as you fold all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale, step or jump back, high plank to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, hips high, down dog. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale, hug your abs in as you rise up. Press through your feet to extend long, and exhale to fold with soft knees. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, step or jump back, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, hips high, down dog. Final sundae. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, press down to stretch up, press down through your heels. And exhale, fold, come through center. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale, step or jump back, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And now move on to our sun bees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Hips drop low, hands come high, up into a chair pose. Press your feet apart on the mat and hug your outer hips in to use all of your leg muscles. Pull your front ribs together so they become closer to the front of your pelvis, lifting up. Stretch your arms high and hug your arm bones in toward your ears. One more big breath in, and exhale, fold over your feet. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. And exhale, step or jump back, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, hips high, down dog. Step your right foot forward and inhale up to warrior one. Press through the edge of your back foot all the way down to the heel and activate the quadriceps on both legs to square your hips to the front of your space. Inhale, go up, look up, and exhale, open up to warrior two. Bring the front of your pelvis up and press your heels together on the mat. Actually, press your feet out. Let's try that. Press your feet out, then hug your inner thighs together. Flip your right hand, inhale, go up and back, and exhale, cartwheel down to your mat, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, inhale up to warrior one. Press through your right heel and activate both of your quadriceps to square your hips up. Squeeze your abs in as you inhale and look up, and exhale, open up into your warrior two. Press out through your feet and squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift the front of your pelvis to activate those abs. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. Flip your palm, inhale, go up and back. And exhale, cartwheel down, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, hips high, down dog. And let's just do that one more time. One breath per movement to flow through and get our hips warmed up. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to step, jump to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Hips low, hands high, come up into chair, squeeze those abs, and exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, step or jump back, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale to down dog. Right foot steps forward, inhale up, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, go up and back, reverse your warrior. And exhale, cartwheel down, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips high, down dog. Left foot steps forward, root to rise. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, open up into your warrior two. Flip your palm, inhale, go up and back. And exhale, cartwheel down, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. I'm gonna take a short break here a second to put my hair up. The sun came back out. And now it's hot in this little garage here. All right. So we're in down dog here. Pressing down to the L of our thumb and forefinger. Abs in, hips high. Inhale your right heel high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round your back. Inhale your right heel high. Exhale, bring your knee to your tricep. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, bring your right knee to your left tricep, cross it under your body. Inhale your right heel high, and exhale, step through, coming out up to a crescent lunge. Press the front of your pelvis forward as you drag your feet together on the mat. This will give you the freedom to bring your arm bones up by your ears. Then bring your hands together and twist over to the right. Drop your back knee down to experience a greater opening on the front of your left hip flexors. And squeeze your outer hips in no matter where you are with your legs to extend the crown of your head long and look over your shoulder. Open up your arms, squeezing your shoulder blade tips together on your back. And then release down. Place your left hand firmly on the mat and step your right foot on top of your left for a side plank. Option is always to drop the bottom knee since this is semi-restorative. Breathe the front of your pelvis up and your low ribs down so they meet together. And then exhale, high plank to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, hips high, down dog. Recommit to pressing those hands forward and lifting those hips high. And inhale your left heel high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round your back. Inhale your left heel high. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left tricep. Inhale your left heel high. Exhale, bring your left knee to your right tricep. Ooh, that's a sore oblique. Inhale your left heel high. Exhale your knee to your nose. And then step through, coming on up into crescent lunge. Once again, bring the front of your pelvis up and pull your feet together on your mat. So you can bring your arm bones up by your ears and bring your hands to heart center and twist over to the left. Bring your back knee down for a greater hip flexor stretch. And press your hands together. And from that motion, pull your heart forward and turn to look over your left shoulder. Spread your arms open. Let those little wings fly. Bring your shoulder blade tips together on your back. Then release your hands down. Plant your right hand firmly and roll onto the outside of your right foot, coming into a side plank. Hug the front of your pelvis up as you send your tailbone down towards your heels, activating your legs and holding you strong in this pose. One more big inhale, and then exhale, high plank to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, hips high, down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale to step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Hips low, hands high, come on up into a chair pose. Exhale, bring your right arm under and right leg over, coming into an eagle pose. Hug into your center line and hug the front of your pelvis up as you raise the crown of your head up to find stability in this pose. Keep your feet active. Unwind your legs and extend your right leg behind you, continuing to breathe and moving thoughtfully and carefully through the transition. Hug your outer hips in so you can extend your legs out. Reach your fingertips, keep the bind. Reach your fingertips toward the wall in front of you. Then release your bind. Bring your arms to reach behind, and you're going to touch that right heel. Then bring your right leg down, forward fold. Split your feet apart and grab your big toes with your peace sign fingers. Inhale to halfway lift and exhale to fold, using your fingers to deepen the fold. And play around the same way we did in ragdoll, the opening of class. Tense your quads, play around with pushing your feet out or hugging them in. Whatever gets you to a new place in this pose, a new opening. You've been doing yoga long enough, you can use your breath to explore. Release your toes, inhale, toe your feet together. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. And kick your right leg up, reaching back with your right hand to come into dancer. Hug your inner thighs together. Hug the front of your pelvis up and kick into your hand. Inhale to raise up and exhale to kick. Hugging both inner thighs together so that you can really use your abs in this pose and have the foundation come from your pelvis, as well as that foot on the ground. Three more breaths here on this side. And then listen to me. Reach back with that right foot. Come back into an airplane for a moment. And then reach back and step into a warrior one. Clasp your hands behind your back. Find that bind. And hug your inner thighs together as you reach your chest up. And then exhale, bow on the inside of your left leg for a humble warrior. Bring the front of your pelvis up and send your tailbone down toward your right heel so that you're really extending your whole spine here. And release your mind. Bring your right foot in line with the heel of your left, so you're arching that heel. Line up and inhale your right hand up for a triangle pose. Hug your inner thighs together and press your feet apart. Fold over your left leg and step your right foot in a little bit so you can have both feet on the ground, both heels planted. So you halfway lift and fold over your left leg in a pyramid pose. Press down through your heels to raise your tailbone up so you can drop your head a little bit more toward the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, step back, high plank to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, and exhale, hips high, down dog. Recommit to pressing the L's of your hands down and bend your knees deeply. And using your abs, lift your hips high. Inhale, look forward between your hands. And exhale to step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, hips low, hands high. Come up into that big, strong chair pose. Then exhale, bring your left arm under and your left leg over, coming into an eagle. on the left. Breathe into your back. Unwind your legs, and with control and breath, extend your left leg behind you, coming into a bound airplane. Squeeze your outer hips in so you can extend that left leg long behind you and reach your fingertips toward the wall in front of you. Release your mind. Woo! And extend your hands behind you. Expand with your inhales, and with your exhales, hug in. Squeezing your outer hips in, squeezing your inner thighs. And then release down, forward fold. Split your feet apart and slide your upturned hands underneath the soles of your feet for a gorilla pose. Send your breath to your hamstrings and anything else that might need to be shook out. Soften the corners of your eyes. Release your jaw. Ooh, my back just popped with that one. I really need to release that jaw. And take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Let the crown of your head hang heavy. Release your hands. Inhale till your feet together. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, come back into your airplane pose, extending that left leg long. Here comes that fun transition again. You're gonna bend your right knee and reach back with your left to come on in to a warrior one. Clasp your hands behind you with the opposite thumb on top. Inhale, bring the front of your pelvis up and puff your chest up, opening your heart. And exhale, bend on the inside of your right leg for humble warrior. Scoop the front of your pelvis forward and let your tailbone descend toward your back heel so that your whole spine releases. You can start to bring your knuckles up overhead, over your shoulders. My shoulders are extra tight, so probably doesn't look like much, and this feels incredible in my body. So even though I really like to check out my practice on video and a mirror and things like that, you have to remember, and I have to remember, that how it looks and how it feels doesn't always match up, and that doesn't always matter. And release your hands down. Come in. Oh, wait. Yeah. Release your hands down. And bring your back foot so the arch of your left foot is in line with your right heel. And press on up into a triangle pose. Press your feet apart on the mat and pull your inner thighs in towards each other. So you can open up, starting from your sacrum and unwind all the way through your entire spine, looking up at your left thumbnail. Release and fold over your right leg. Step your left foot in as much as you need to get both heels on the ground. And inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold into a pyramid pose. Bring your belly in, press through your heels to send your hips high and drop your head a bit lower. Send your breath into your hamstrings and tense your quads so you can tell those hamstrings to release. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Lower into low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. Press down through your hands and feet. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, look up at the ceiling. And exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, come into high plank. And exhale, lower down to your belly for a belly shavasana. Turn your head so either ear is resting on the ground, whatever's calling to you here. Find one spot to focus your eyes on and immediately drop into rest. Switch to your other ears on the mat. And bring your chin to center. Scoop the front of your pelvis up and bring your front ribs together. Press the tops of your feet into the mat to fire up your leg muscles. Turn your inner thighs up to the ceiling and hug your outer hips in. Then inhale, lift everything up into locust pose. Use the strength of your legs to peel your chest open and look up. And exhale, release, opposite ear to the mat. Kick your ankles up and catch the outside of them with your hands. And inhale up into bow pose. Press the outside of your ankles into your hands. And this might sound contradictory. Squeeze your inner ankles together. Roll your shoulders open and turn to look up. Spread your toes wide. We're here for a few more breaths. And release, opposite ear down. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Back and forth. And flip over. Roll on over to your back for a bridge pose. Place your ankles below your knees and wiggle your shoulder blades underneath your body with your palms up. And then exhale to flatten your low back of the mat. With your inhale, slowly come up, one vertebrae at a time, pressing your shins forward toward the wall in front of you. Hugging your inner thighs together, squeezing your glutes, extending your knees long toward the wall in front of you. Then exhale, come down slowly, one vertebrae at a time, articulating your spine the whole way down. Finally rolling up at the end. So that little gap is between your low back and the ground again. We naturally have an arch to our back there. So when we ask you in yoga to put your low back on the ground, what we're really asking for is to engage the low abs and flex that pelvis down. Let's do one more of those articulations. Exhale, press your low back on the ground. And inhale, press all four corners of your feet on the ground as you rise up, one vertebrae at a time, squeezing your glutes, in and your inner thighs in as you near the top. Continue pressing forward with your feet and squeezing your shoulders in to open up the front of your body. And then exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way down. And finally, let your pelvis come back to your natural neutral position. And now cross your right leg, or right ankle over onto your left thigh. Exhale all of your air out. Find that vacuum at the end to seal your low abs in. And then with an inhale, come on up into your one-legged figure four bridge. Excuse me. And exhale, come all the way down. Release your right foot to the ground. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Exhale all your air out. Seal that low ab vacuum at the end. Then inhale, press up into a one-legged figure four bridge on the left. Squeeze your shoulders in and lift the front of your pelvis up to raise you up and to deepen the hip opener. Then exhale, release, come all the way down with control. Release your left foot down. Place your hands by your ears, as wide, if not wider than your mat. And move your feet out slightly, a little bit wider too. So give you lots of space in your wheel for your spine to stretch out. And it's often easier to come up into wheel with a little bit of a wider stance. We're only going to do one of these today, but we're going to hold it for 10 breaths. So on an inhale, come all the way up into your wheel. Press down firmly through your hands and feet. Exhale your air out to get that vacuum. And then breathe into all of your ribs in your chest, looking down between your hands. We have about 8 more breaths here. Don't focus on what you can't do in this bridge. Send your breath and intention into what you can do. Experience the possibility here in this long hold. Three more breaths. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly release all the way down. Come into a Supta Baddha Konasana with your feet together. One hand on your low belly and the other hand on your heart. Release your feet up for a happy baby. Touch the outside of your feet with your hands. And send your breath into your hamstrings as you flatten your low back on the ground. Bring your shoulder blade tips together and your chin tucked in, even in this pose. All of the yoga poses are based off of the Tadasana, the mountain pose. You can even bring elements of that grounding and steadiness and structure into this happy baby pose, this playful childlike pose of release. Bring your right leg over your left and your right arm under your left. We're going to do some eagle crunches before we move into the rest of the restorative stuff. So inhale to reach long, tap your hands and feet on the ground, and exhale, come up and crunch, elbows and knees meet. We'll do 10 of these. So here's 9, crunch, extend, 8, crunch, 7, inhale, extend, Exhale, crunch 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your binds and come into eagle on the left with your left arm over and your left leg over and left arm under. Then inhale to extend and tap, and exhale to crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. That's 9. Inhale, 8. Crunch 7. Inhale, crunch 6. 5. Inhale. Exhale, crunch 4. 3. 2. Inhale, extend. And crunch 1. Unwind. You can roll your low back out of the ground a little bit. Catch the back of your legs and start to roll back and forth and back and forth. Then cross your legs and come on over into a downward facing dog. Press those L's of your hands forward and bend your knees low. Hug your abs in and then extend your hips high and sink your heels down. Once more, recommitting to this firm down dog, learning by repetition. And then step your right foot forward to meet your right hand. Wiggle it to the outside of your feet and hug your feet together on the mat to square your hips up. This is our lizard lunge once more, like at the beginning of class. I don't know if yours feels different now, mine certainly does. Then bring your back knee down and wiggle your left foot out and let it drop open on the outside of your foot. Bring the heel of your hand to the inside of your right leg and turn to look over your shoulder. You either stay here in this gentle twist, or if it's in your practice today, reach for your back foot and experience the quad stretch on the left as well. Release your bind on your back foot. And then wiggle your right foot all the way over to the opposite side of your mat and come on down into a half pigeon pose, keeping your foot flexed to protect your knee. Press down to the top of your left foot to square your hips and then fold over. Once again, soften the corners of your eyes. Wiggle your jaw around. Release anywhere you're holding tension. Surrender yourself to the half pigeon pose. Gently press up and press back into a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up and take a counter stretch. Open that hip up. We didn't do any of this at the front of class today. Just go ahead and open it up like you're preparing for a flip dog. Get that hip all ooey and gooey and open. Then bring your right foot down. Press to the L's of those hands forward. Lift your hips high. Stretch out your hands once more. And then step your left foot forward to meet your left hand. Bring your hands together on the inside of your foot in your lizard lunge. pull your feet together on the mat to square up your hips so you can drop down into the stretch. Really feel it. Then bring your back knee down and wiggle your left foot out to the side, allowing it to drop onto the edge of your foot. Take the heel of your left hand and press it onto the meaty inside of that thigh. Turn to look over your shoulder. Either stay here or grab for your left foot to get that quad stretch bind in there. And continue to breathe and press the front of your pelvis forward. Release your mind gently. And start to wiggle your left foot over to the right side of your mat, setting up for half pigeon on the left. Keeping that foot flexed. Pressing down the top of your right foot to square your hips up before you fold over your left leg. Breathe all the way down into those hip joints. Like bind and release there. Gently press up. And swing both feet in front of you. Move your butt cheeks out from under your hip or seat bones there. Give your legs a little tap on the ground. Inhale to raise your hands up. Look up. And exhale to fold, pressing your sit bones and heels into the ground. Inhale to halfway lift, pulling your heart forward. And exhale to fold once more. And have your knees bent as much as you need to experience this stretch where your body needs it, whether it's your top of your hamstrings, your calves, and the soles of your feet. With an inhale, roll all the way up to a seat. And take your right foot and bring it to the outside of your left thigh. And take your left elbow and bring it to the outside of your right knee, keeping your right fingertips tented on the ground underneath you. Inhale to reach the crown of your head high, and exhale to turn and look over your right shoulder. Option to up level, bringing your left heel in towards your right buttock, like so. No matter which variation you're taking, ground your sit bones down as you exhale and stretch the crown of your head up with an inhale. Find that push-pull release, even in this twisted, seated, relaxing pose. And release. Extend both legs long. And then take your left foot and place it on the outside of your right thigh. Take your left fingertips behind you and take your right elbow. Place it on the outside of your left leg. Inhale to stretch the crown of your head up. And exhale to turn and look over your left shoulder. If you took the variation on the other side, I encourage you to bring your left heel or right heel in towards your left buttock on this side as well to keep things evened out in your body. Inhale to extend up and exhale to round down, stretching your spine long and keeping your belly tucked in even here. And gently release, extending your legs in front of you again. Come all the way down onto your back. And take a waterfall pose. So make your hands into a diamond shape. Place them right at the base of your sacrum. And extend your heels high toward the ceiling. Find one spot to look at. And focus and breathe here. Letting the blood come back down from your feet into your body. Release your hands out from under your buns. Grab for your toes. Bend your knees as much as you need to here as well. Take a forward fold on your back. Then engage your abs and use your hands as you need to. Then come on and do a plow pose with your feet reaching behind you. Drop your knees into a deaf man's pose. And then with control, come all the way back down onto your back. And we'll finish our asana with a quick spinal twist. So bring your right knee in, give a little roll around. And bring her on over to the left, looking over your right hand. And release, come to center. Bring your left knee into your chest, extending your right leg long. Give your hip joint a little juicy roll around, get that synovial fluid working. Then bring your leg on over to the right side of your body, turning to look over your left hand. Release, come to center. Give yourself one last big squeeze, and then exhale, release into Shavasana. Tucking your shoulder blades under you so that your chest can stay open as you release everything else. Take a moment here to relax in this corpse pose, and we'll all come out together in a minute. Spread your fingers and toes wide. Stretch out the webbing between each digit. And then inhale your arms high. Point your toes. Give a big old full body stretch. And then roll on over to either your right or left side. Right for softness and left for strength. And keeping your eyes softly closed, come on up to a seated position, bringing your hands to heart center. We'll close with an Om together. Taking a clearing breath first, so inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, make a noise. Now let's Om, inhaling for Om. Inhale your thumbs up to your forehead, your third eye center. The light in me bows to the light in each one of you. Namaste. Woohoo!
Oh man.
You're refreshed and restored, because I certainly am.